it was right there. We had the perfect seat, drinking our wine.
Oh, no, I mean, if I have like a.
And the wedding was neat. It was,
Issue. Sorry, I'm like up chatting and it's 6 o'clock.
Okay, I'd like to call the Ravenna City Council Committee of the Whole meeting to order. Could we call the roll first?
Mr. Kelvey?
Here.
Ms. West?
Here.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
here.
Mr. Maravich? Ms. Michael?
Here.
Mr. Harper?
Here.
Get a motion to excuse Mr. Maravich for tonight's meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Yes.
Okay. First item on the agenda is approval of the Committee of the Whole meeting minutes of September 22nd. You should have received those in your packet. Does anybody have any additions, deletions, corrections of those minutes? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? The minutes are approved. The next item is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the $33,809.52 grant award from FEMA. This is from Public Health and Safety. Ms. Michael?
Yes, this is accepting a grant that we received from the fire department. It does have a 5% match. It is for turnout gear. So great job for receiving additional funds for our fire department. And I'd like to be able to accept the grant and move it forward.
Okay. Any questions?
No, great.
What is the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Would you like to place this in the consent agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. The next item is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement for dispatch services, also from Public Health. Ms. Michael?
Yes, this is for one, I believe. Is that correct, Jake? For one, pardon me? Yeah, this is for one that we want to sign the deal on. We're still hopeful that several others will continue. And we want to move forward with this so that we can lock in this community and provide them wonderful services, what our dispatchers do.
Any questions about this ordinance? What is the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Would you like to place this in the consent agenda?
Yes.
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 Okay, the next item on the agenda is an ordinance authorizing the purchase of a 2025 Chevrolet Tahoe in the police department. Public
And-
Health and Safety?
Yeah, and again, this is authorizing us to allow the police department to purchase the Chevrolet Tahoe. As we talked about, the money was already allocated in the budget for this. This vehicle does provide some pretty cool safety features with drones and features that the chief did talk about. So again, we have the money and we want to provide them with good vehicles for what they do. So I say we go ahead and move it forward as we have in the past.
Questions? It's the pleasure of the committee.
Ordinance.
I'd like to place this in the consent agenda.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, the next item is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to sell an out-of-service ambulance.
So this one was a little different. The chief is unable to be here tonight, but as you've all seen by email and from the law director, and Tammy, if you'd like to chime in too, you're welcome to, if I don't say it correctly. But what we have to do is put it out there for sale. So publicly list it, so anyone could offer the price or more. And if nobody offers more than what we've agreed upon, then we're able to sell it for a period of time. Is that about right?
Yes, yes, correct. Once we advertise it for 2 weeks, after that time period, if anybody offers other bids, of course, we can consider those too. We do have a letter of intent from Wyndham to purchase it for that $30,000 right now. But after that, we do need the ordinance legislative approval for that as
Yeah.
well. That's part of the thing. And then Mr. Semino said he would do a contract, because we do want to have a simple contract of the sale to Wyndham as well, if they're the top bidder.
Right, but we, in addition to advertising it, we do need a legislative
We do need the
approval to do
ordinance as
that.
well.
So we'd like to move this forward, just altered from its original state, to taking out the purchase or the sale to a particular township, just the sale being advertised. So we'll make sure it's crafted
Yeah, that's fine.
correctly. What's the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Would you like to place this in the consent agenda?
Consent.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay it's pretty cut forth as long as, and the only way it would change, if somebody miraculously comes through and wants to give us double the money, then it might change a little bit, so.
Wouldn't that be a shame?
Yeah, well, then, there we go.
And just so we're clear, I mean, you could take this out of the consent agenda later on if anybody has any concerns. But for now, we'll leave it in there. Okay, the next item is an ordinance authorizing the removal of bricks from the street on South Sycamore Street. Now, this one is from Streets and Sidewalks, Mr. Harper?
It is. This has been discussed a couple times. The road is in extremely bad shape. We've decided to put it onto our paving levy program for 2026. And as of right now, I'd like to hear if there's any other options or scenarios that people may suggest with this road. Right now, we're talking about pulling the bricks, being the most feasible, least expensive repair, and replacing the bricks with asphalt. We have talked about leaving the rails in place for a little historic value. And there's also been talk of possibly keeping brick between the rails for some historical significance. I have not talked to Mr. Finney about the cost of that option at this point, but it's an option, and was just wondering if anybody else had any thoughts or concerns about that section of Sycamore.
I did receive a phone call prior to the meeting from a resident about the bricks. And they knew that some of the bricks that were pulled from Freedom Street are still, a lot of them are behind the city street garage. And, the people can't have them. Some of them have been used, which looks really good, I think, in the areas, and some of the older bricks have been replaced with those, ones that needed repair. It was a suggestion that some of these bricks could still be used, some of the good ones, if you do take them out. Maybe walkways in that area along the curbs to do some maybe historical brick walkways along the side of the road. Also, maybe ask the residents if they would like any of the bricks, if the city is not going to be using, if there's going to be a large amount of bricks sitting there and the city's not going to use them, maybe figure out a way that residents could use them, sell them, but it's a shame to see them sit there and go to waste too. So, but they would like to see them used more throughout our community for the historic value. So I said I would bring that up.
Mr. Harper, I would like to endorse the idea of leaving the tracks in there. And I think also the idea of between the tracks, if we could get enough good bricks to fill in the area between the tracks, it would really show a historical aspect of the street still and would provide a pretty attractive median, I think, down the kind of middle of the road there. The idea is about saving some of the bricks. I know they did sort all those bricks down there at the garage, and they are having a pile of them set aside for further use. And so I would also endorse looking at those bricks that get taken out, and if there's some that are able to be saved for future use, we could do that. We did use some of the bricks when we did Freedom to do a couple historic crosswalks
Right.
where the existing bricks were done in crosswalks, which turned out to be a pretty nice project also. So that's a possibility, I think.
And I think keeping the bricks and the rail would give a similar effect as the crosswalks
Yeah.
that were done, and it is a nice appearance. And I believe there's probably enough good bricks still on Sycamore that we could use the Sycamore bricks in that section still. So I think we're okay with moving this forward. The actual finalize what we're gonna do may not come until the paving levy comes out and we talk about it again, but I think at this point, we'll move it forward. We're on agreement that the road needs some desperate work.
And this, I believe this is well overdue.
Any other comments or questions?
What's the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Ordinance.
Would you like to place this in the consent agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Next item is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with JBL Roofing. This is from Utilities, Mr. Moskin.
Yes, this is for a roofing project that needs to be taken care of quite soon. This is at, pardon?
I don't think this is the, wait a second. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. I got him on the wrong one.
Okay,
Did I read the wrong one?
not that I
Oh,
know of.
okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay,
My apologies.
all right. This is at the wastewater treatment plant. There is money available to take care of this project. The money was set aside well ahead of time for when this needed to be done. I just wanted to make that part clear.
Questions or comments? What is the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance,
Would you like to place this in the consent agenda?
yes.
Okay, now, this is the one I was thinking of in my brain, and somehow it got
Oh.
transposed into that one. The next item is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Fiorito Construction LLC. Mr. Moskin, this is also from Utilities.
Okay, there, this is a company that was chosen to do the stormwater project, which is a big project. Will be done in segments, primarily on Jones Avenue. The engineering department, Mr. Finian, Mr. DeSalvo, had researched this to quite extent. And this might start sometime late this fall or this winter, depending on the weather. If not, it could be in the spring at the latest.
I'll mention that this is the topic of our special meeting that follows the committee of the whole meeting tonight. And you were sent quite a bit of information from Mr. DeSalvo, I believe last week or maybe the week before, that had all the bidding information. It had, and attached to the announcement for the special meeting tonight has the contract in it. It doesn't have the amount, but I remember asking about that at the utilities meeting, and I found it in an email, and the amount eludes me tonight, but be nice if it was in the contract. I can see if I can dig it up. Does anybody else have any other questions about this? Just bear with me one second here. Okay, total project cost is $93,994.80. And I think part of this was we needed about $8,000 an additional allocation to make sure we had enough money to pay for this. And there was some sort of supplemental,
There was an alternate on the bid.
oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, and it's 8,020
Right.
more.
Okay. Any other questions? We'll talk about this more at the special meeting if you wish to. What's the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Ordinance.
Okay, we're not going to put this in the consent agenda because we're going to talk about it at the special meeting. The next item is an ordinance transferring $120,000 to the Central Freedom Spruce and Walnut Water Line Project. Also from Utilities, Mr. Moskin?
Okay, it involves these portions of these streets that were just mentioned, and it's just money transferred from one account to the other. Water line, valves, hydrants, taps, all these things involved in taking care of these. And a big reason in a portion of these areas is because that way there's been, just say, several water breaks. To eliminate these, hopefully there'll be no more water breaks in these areas for many, many years.
Was this money coming from the water
Tower.
tank? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes,
Correct.
it's coming from the water tank project because they're coming in under on that one. Yeah.
Okay. Further comments or questions? The pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Consent agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, the next item is an ordinance accepting a grant award in the sum of $2,880 from the Ravenna United Fund. This is from the Planning Committee. Ms. West?
And this is 50% of the funding that was needed to complete the tarp flooring for the safety town. Take the money and run, as Bruce would say.
Any comments or concerns? Pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Would you like to place this in the consent agenda?
Yes.
Next item is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to negotiate the purchase of property for Osborne Park. This is from the Planning Committee also. Ms. West?
So this was an ordinance that was requested for the mayor to negotiate the purchase for Osborne Park, negotiating the property that Norfolk Southern is attempting to purchase from us on the other side of town that we are not using.
So hopefully, trade-off.
Who knows? Hopefully.
Okay, any questions or comments about this? Pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Would you like to place this in the consent agenda?
Yes.
yes.
Next item is a resolution of necessity to place an income tax levy on the ballot. This is from the Planning Committee. Ms. West?
As it reads, I think we've been talking about this for a really long time. Tammy, do you have anything? What's the percentage of the income tax?
0.25%.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you need?
No, I think we've talked about this at length.
Yeah, and hopefully it is the will of the council to extend this for 3 full readings, assuming we have we have to look at the
Assuming we
timeline.
have the timing, yeah.
I think we do, but at least to have enough readings so that we get this out there to the public, and we'll arrange a public meeting again if it's the will of council. We want everyone's opinion, we want as much input as we can, but we also do want to meet the deadline, getting this on the ballot for a May election.
Correct.
Any other questions or comments? What is the will of the committee?
Ordinance.
You mean
Resolution.
Oh, resolution, sorry.
And I would suggest we don't put it on the
No,
consent agenda
it's-
if the intent is to keep this on a running basis.
Yes.
Okay, then the next item is an ordinance authorizing the renewal of Civica license and support. This is from Information Systems. Mr. Maravich isn't here, but I believe this is the software that the Finance Department
Yes,
uses, so
this
maybe
is
you could
the-
tell us a little about
The
it.
renewal of our maintenance agreement license and support for our finance software.
It's like a marginal increase.
Yeah, normally they bill some of this separate, and it's billed as one contract this year, so it required an ordinance to be able to sign the contract. Because it does include utility billing, Easy Pay, all of the other software that goes along.
And it's above the threshold of 25,000.
Correct, it's 29 something in total. Yep.
Okay, questions or comments? What is the desire of the committee?
Ordinance?
Like to place this in the consent agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Next item is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Revise. This is also from Information Systems. We had a presentation discussion with our IT director, Jonathan Bender. Jonathan gave us a lot of information about this and the next item as a sort of a combination of how we can upgrade our communication efforts via our website, also incorporating an app that residents will be able to access on their smartphones. And then there are other various components to what we'll get from Revise that will enhance how we do our business behind the scenes. Hopefully, through the use of templates and forms, we'll be able to more efficiently handle the process of how things become an ordinance and sign-offs and so forth. So, any discussion, any questions?
I just wanted to add that it's lovely to have an IT director that is able to find these things that council doesn't have to problem solve this where we might have had to in the past. So he's very knowledgeable and did some really great research on what's going to work best for our city.
Yeah, and I've sat through webinars like this, and it's not always a treat. So we definitely appreciate his efforts. Okay, what is the will of the committee?
Ordinance.
Like to place this in the consent agenda?
Yes.
Okay, and a companion to that item, the next item is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with GoGov. And GoGov is the company that's going to provide us with the app that, so for example, you could see a pothole on the street as you're walking your dog and take a picture of it and report it to the city, and bingo, city comes out and fixes it the next day, right? Mr. Content?
Unless it's a holiday or Friday afternoon.
So anyway, it definitely enhances our residents' ability to report things, and it does it in a more convenient way when it's, in this day and age, available on your smartphone. Questions or comments about this? What is the will of the committee?
Ordinance.
Ordinance.
Like to place this?
Consent.
Okay. The next item is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with WebEx. I believe this is for the phone system, correct? And I don't have as much expertise on this. If anyone wants to weigh in, they're willing to. But I believe that the fundamental difference between what we have now and what this will provide is cloud-based.
Rather than servers.
Yeah, so we don't have to manage servers and all other kinds of things. And hopefully, eventually, it may save us some money. So what is the will of the committee?
Ordinance.
Would you like to place this in the consent agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, the next item is an ordinance authorizing the final appropriations for the purchase of Sun Valley Farm.
Sunbow.
I'm sorry, Sunbow Valley Farm.
Brian.
I apologize. Ms. Lawrence, this is from the Finance Department?
Yeah, and this is just honestly to give final approval for the closing costs and everything that we have already appropriated. We just did a small amount out of the Fund 215 for the final appropriations instead of using just the general fund and the park CI.
Okay. Questions or concerns about this? What is the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
I'd like to place this in the consent agenda.
Yes.
All right, our last item is an ordinance authorizing the execution of then and now certificates. I believe you received some information today in your mailboxes. This is also from the Finance Department.
Yes, and I did not look at these as closely this month, but I think there's 3 on there. This is our normal every month then and now certificates that we need to issue. I am going to start following up every month with each one of our departments a little more, just to try, and I'd love to get, I think there was only 1 month that I got it down to 0 and there wasn't any, so.
Well, you know, we all have our goals in life, and I think that's achievable.
Yeah.
It may take a little longer. Any questions or concerns about this? What's the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
I'd like to place this in the consent agenda.
Yes.
Okay, we have no other business for the committee of the whole meeting tonight. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Yes.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
We'll adjourn just long enough to stop and start the